My brothers and sisters, this is Reverend Angela Palacious, and I'm sharing with you from Ephesians. And we are in Ephesians chapter 3, verses 16 through 19. And I will read as follows. I ask God, from the wealth of his glory, to give you power through his Spirit to be strong in your inner selves. And I pray that Christ will make his home in your hearts through faith. I pray that you may have your roots and foundations in love, so that you, together with all of God's people, may have the power to understand how broad and long, how high and deep is Christ's love. Yes, may you come to know his love, although it can never be fully known, and so be completely filled with the very nature of God. My comment in the book is, Paul prayed a powerful prayer of intercession for strength, wisdom, love, and infilling with the fullness of God. Are you familiar with these verses? May this be our prayer for ourselves and others. I invite you to break it down. Let's take it slowly. I ask God, from the wealth of his glory, to give you power through his Spirit to be strong in your inner selves. What does it mean to be strong in your inner self? Would you describe yourself as strong in your inner self, or weak, or some days one way, some days another? Do you understand what is being offered in this prayer? To be able to have that stamina, to be able to, what they call stalwart, right? To be able to be resolute and to be immovable, in, as one of the other verses talk about, where you just can take a stand for something, and deep from within you, you know that you cannot do otherwise. You can't live with yourself. You can't sleep at night. You can't face people because you know that you're failing, and that God is equipping you to do better. So if you think in terms of this wealth of glory, from the wealth of God's glory, and that's a whole other day to just think about that. And then this power that we have from the Spirit, the very triune. We're dealing with God, we're dealing with Spirit, and of course we're talking later about Christ's love. And he says, I pray that Christ will make his home in your hearts through faith. What does it mean for Christ to make his home in your heart? Does that change what your heart will contemplate? Does that change what you allow to break your heart to mean so much? What does it mean to know that Christ is with you, is with you all the time in this most intimate and available and reachable and teaching kind of spirit? I mean, Christ at home. When you're at home, it means that you're not going anywhere. Your first choice and preference for the most part. Now, maybe some of you tired from being locked up and you're ready to get out, but for the most part, going home is a good place to be. When you've been working all day or you've been traveling, home is supposed to, anyway. For some people, it is not, and we pray for them. But home is supposed to be that place where you can relax and unwind and kick your shoes off, let your hair down, just, drag slippers around, put on old clothes, whatever it is that you need to do to say, I don't have to pretend, and hopefully we don't anyway, that I don't have to impress, hopefully we don't feel we have to, that, I'm not watching my P's and Q's, I'm not doing battle, hopefully, I don't have to have all my armor on in the same way, because this is where I have people who are for me. This is my support base. And if it's like that, and you know that Christ is at home in your heart, then it means that Christ is so comfortable, as it were, with you. You're all just hanging out in the Spirit. I mean, just think about what that means, to know Christ in that way, and to know that Christ is with you in that way and wants to be with you. I mean, that's an awesome, awesome thought, that our God chooses to come with us and with all our bad ways, wants to be with us, wants to make his home in our hearts. So that's a whole year of meditation and contemplation. But anyway, moving along, we are invited to come to understand the power of God's love. How broad and high and deep and long, just what it is, without ever being able to fully know. What is so available? This love. And that this is so that we can be completely filled with the nature of God. Oh, what a thing to be so much like God, that you just feel yourself filled with this glory, with this power, with this presence. I mean, the words can't describe. And so I hope that that will become your goal, to ask God to give you everything that this prayer is asking for you. And then for you to pray that for everyone you know. That's your work. God bless you.